Hey there, ProChurch Media community, this is Jason again. In this tutorial, we're going to look at how to create animated GIFs on your mobile device, whether an iPad or an iPhone, using the apps Procreate and Imageplay. And so the best part about this tutorial is the process isn't exclusive to these apps. Any app that can export transparent PNGs, you can use the same process. So if you're not on an Apple device, you can still probably pull this off using some other apps. But we're going to focus on Procreate and Imageplay for this tutorial. So let's get going. All right, so I'm here in Procreate. I'm just going to start by creating a new artwork here. I'm just going to do screen size. And I'm going to grab a brush here, and I think I'm just gonna use the black ink and kind of, make it about this size, maybe a little bit bigger. So let's see, something like that will be good. Okay, and now I'm just gonna get a more bold color, like this kind of pinkish color, and then just kind of draw here. I'm just gonna make a rough kind of animated GIF just so this doesn't take forever. So I'm just gonna make this field right here, go a little bit further out in the center, things like that. I think that will work pretty well. Now I'm just going to grab this little tool and just kind of roughen it up like that, just for a little extra visual interest. And there we go. All right, once again, I'm going to grab my brush here, turn this to white, and then I'm just going to start drawing in some text here. I think my A might be a little thick, so I'm going to do more something like that. I'm just going to say, aw. Okay, so this is going to be my base reference image. And so I'm going to go to the layers right here and just go to this little button here and bring the opacity down to like 35% or so. I want to be able to see it so I can use it as a reference for my other layers, but I don't want it to, block everything. All right, so I think that'll work pretty well. Let's just add a new layer now and put this one below that. So just kind of tap and hold, and eventually it will give it to you sometimes. There we go. Put it down below there, and now we're just gonna grab another brush color. I think I'm gonna use a little bit darker shade and grab my brush again, and then just kind of brush here. And you can see I don't want to be perfect, and it would be very hard to be perfect because the imperfections are gonna help drive the animation here. So just something like that, and then grab that tool, roughen it up a bit, something like that. Grab my brush again, turn this back to white, and then just kind of go over this text again. I don't want it to be too far away, but I don't want it to be perfect, so I'm just kind of, splitting the difference, something like that. Okay, so I think that'll work for my first layer. So now I'm just going to turn this one off, add a new layer, and basically just repeat the process again. So I'm going to grab another color, maybe this purple right here. And once again, just kind of draw in this field right here, and just do something like this. And then grab that hand tool, just kind of roughen this up, smudge it up. Looks good. Grab my brush again, grab that white color, and then just draw this text in here. Something like that. Okay, so I think that looks pretty good. I mean, I might go in and clean this up just a bit, like those strokes might have been just a little bit too thick. You can kind of do whatever you want. I think that'll be pretty good. Okay, then all I would do is just duplicate this process over and over and over again. Basically for as many layers as I want. I think probably about 10 unique layers would probably be pretty good. I'm not going to go through the whole process of doing this because I just do the same process over and over and over. Okay, so then what I would do, let's pretend I'm just going to use these 3 layers. So I'd go back to my first layer that's transparent, pull the opacity all the way back up, and then what I can do is turn off all these other layers and then make sure the background color is turned off, and you'll see the transparency grid there. And now I go up to this little tool right here and go to Share, make sure that's highlighted, and then choose PNG. Then you want to just choose Save Image, and it'll save it somewhere to your photos, and then you want to just go back to the layers, turn that one off, turn that next one on. Once again, go here, PNG, export it, save image, and then once again, go back to your other layers, turn on the next one, go to that, PNG, save image to your photos, and do that for every single layer that you have. It's a bit of a pain that Procreate doesn't seem to be able to export an image sequence from layers, but that's just kind of how it is. So the workaround is just to turn them all on and off and then export transparent PNGs. And so the great part about this process that we're going to be using is that this isn't exclusive to Procreate. So if you have an app that can export transparent PNGs, you can basically do the same process. So if you have a bunch of layers and you can export transparent PNGs, just export each individual layer as its own separate transparent PNG. Okay, so I've gone through this whole process. I've saved all my different layers, and I did this earlier so I could just keep this tutorial moving along. Now let's move over to an app called Imageplay. And so with this one, you can choose a bunch of different options for creating GIFs. I'm just going to choose to make it from a photo and choose photo. And now you can see I have all my photos in my photo gallery or whatever. And I have all these different ones that I exported earlier. So I'm just going to choose however many that I want. And so I originally created 10 individual layers with different colors and all that kind of stuff. So I think maybe I'll just do these first 10 right here. And then once you have all the ones selected that you want to use, just go to Make. It's going to create your GIF, and you can see we're starting to get some animation. Now this one is pretty slow, so you can come down to this little slider, and you can either lengthen it like this, which would be like 2.5 seconds for each frame, which is terrible. Or we could make it faster, something like that, which is definitely what I want. And so now you can see it's basically creating this looping GIF. You can really dial in how fast you want it, how slow you want it, depending on how many frames you have and all that kind of stuff. You can also do a bunch of other things like add text, stickers, filters, adjustments. I don't really want to do any of that. I just want my own animated GIF here. So once you have it set to how you want it, you just go up to Next. It's going to prepare it and get it all ready, and you can see a preview of what you're going to be doing. And then you have all these options down here you can message it to someone, mail it, save it, share it, Facebook, Messenger, blah, 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 blah. So I'm just going to go to Save and then choose Make sure GIF is chosen. I probably want to put the quality on high, and I want the looping option to be on this infinity. And so it says GIF high loop forever. That's what I want. Choose Save to Photos. I think I hit the wrong button. Save to Photos. It's going to prepare it, save it, and now you have a GIF ready to upload for whatever you want. So I hope you can see it's pretty easy to actually create your own animated GIFs on your iPad or on your iPhone. If you are using an iPhone, there's a version of Procreate called Procreate Pocket, which you can use, and it has a lot of the same features. It's a little bit harder to use on a phone just because the screen's smaller and you might not be able to use the Apple Pencil. But you can still do it, and it's still loads of fun to create your own animated GIFs. So anyway, that's about it. I hope this tutorial is helpful for you. Get out there, make some animated GIFs, have some fun, and I will talk to you later.